Everyone, VJ's 32 back again with another What's on Deck. Not too many new projects on Kickstarter this week, but a lot of them ended. Uh, but there is plenty to talk about on projects that are ongoing, so we'll mix them up in here. First of all, let's talk about Triple Vision from One Widow. As you can see right here, they have a new deck for a stretch goal. Despite the fact that they're probably not even going to fund, they've added one for a stretch goal, which is, well, the back is similar yet different from the regular one, as you can see. The court cards, not a big fan. It seems like a minimalist, simplistic thing. But the chances of hitting the stretch goal is pretty slim at this rate. Chances of funding is not too good at this rate. Moving along to a new deck. This is the Bicycle Gentleman from PlayingCards.net, Gambler's Warehouse. You can see from the front of the tuck case it's oddly familiar. That is because it looks very similar to the Bicycle Spirit tuck case on the front anyway. And that is probably because it's from the same creator, which is Blackout Brother. It's an Art Deco inspired deck. There's some tips as well available, as you can see. There is a black and gold deck and a red and white deck as well, which they both look pretty nice and reminiscent of the Spirit decks, I would say. Here you see the court cards in the black and gold deck, which features black and gold colors on both the backs and the faces. And the red and white, of course, features, well, red and black. Red and white, if you will. Poker set, poker chips. $12 for 4 chips. Wow. It's $3 each. May or may not do that. I haven't gotten any chips in a while. Moving along, let's go to this one. This one was also new. The Untied States Sword deck to be printed by USPC. It's from Untied States, aka Ember Waves, which is a band. Look at the Spade Pip and tell me that does not look like it came from the Sentinels deck from 311, because it's pretty clear that it did, in my opinion. It looks very similar to the one anyway from the Sentinels deck. As far as I'm concerned, this deck has just a lot going on the backs and the faces, a lot of little details, a little bit too much going on, and I'm not the only one to point that out. Also, it looks like the borders aren't even from the sides to the top and bottom, but that's just because of the Spade Pip and the artwork. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. The back's okay, but it has a lot going on. There's also a limited edition white deck. I'm not sure if that's a stretch goal. Oh yes, they unlock at $16,000, so probably won't see that happen. I'll be lucky if it funds at this rate. And here's your court cards, and this is one of the biggest things I don't like about it, is these court cards are just standard faces, really, super sized with color on them, but they're just standard and not much else. It's okay, but it's not exactly great, I guess. I guess it's not bad, but it's not super great. And then, of course, there's the fact that these indexes on the court cards are different than the ones on the number cards. And for me, I think this will always be a nice flow through the faces of the cards, and the indexes should always be the same. And having them different from the court cards to the number cards is a bit of a turnoff. I'm not overly impressed with the aces either. I mean, they're okay, nothing horribly wrong with them, but they could be better. Some more face cards and number cards. Again, massive pips and odd pips, just like his previous deck. Which is a capitalist deck, but They're okay, I guess. What I don't like about this is how this 10 of clubs is different than all the other 10s. That is just stupid. I mean, keep it the same from all the 10s should be exactly the same. It's one thing to have different indexes, but when you start having different pips on one card from the rest, that just looks stupid. And then I don't like how these pips, especially like the spades on the 5, are like stuck together. Why is there no space in there? It just seems like it's half-assed. He's just throwing pips all over the place. He's not spacing them evenly, making them too big, or whatever the case might be. It looks stupid. I mean, look at the 5 of diamonds, and then you look at the 5 of spades, and it looks like they're all stuck together. It just does. I do like the jokers and how they're similar to the court cards but different. And this one has a reveal, two reveals: Jack of Hearts and Jack of Clubs on the one on the right. On the hat, it's the same Joker, which is fine. But it's just, I don't know. There's just a lot that could be better with this deck. Moving along, let's talk about the Grotesque and Macabre deck, which is well funded. Well, it's funded. It's not well funded, but it's funded. There is a new deck coming today, which is going to be a bit pricey, $29 US. Gets a bit pricey. It is the Black Mass deck. Black Mass is only going to be 606 produced, apparently. Only 600 available. It's $29 for one, $56 for two, $85 for free, etc., etc. Really, I don't know why anyone would want to add more than like two, especially at these prices. Apparently, they include worldwide shipment by registered mail and gorilla-proof package to protect your decks. I hope that means all the decks will be included in that shipment, because it would be kind of weird to pay for separate shipping. But anyways, what's special about this deck that, aside from it being limited, that it costs that much money? I wish there was an image in this update. Yes, there isn't. Let's go to this one. It's a $17,000 stretch goal, which they've hit, and here it is. It features black Metallica inks on a black tuck case, which is okay, I guess. The more important part is that it features black stock with gold and red metallic inks printed on it. Something that apparently collectors have been waiting for. And it does have embossing on the cards as well. But what this means is with this deck of cards, because it's a black stock and not a white stock that's painted like most black decks, there's not going to be any chipping on the edges. Or there shouldn't be anyway, so pretty interesting. Let's move along to the number 17, Les Sat Aruz, which is, of course, very well funded. It's almost double the goal already. And they added a special deck as well. If I can find it. These are just really nice cards, as you can see. Done very well. Gorgeous. Here we go. The Red Label deck, which is sold out. It was released on Friday. There was only 40 made available. It's just a very special, expensive tuck case. If you're into that kind of thing, then you can always check it out. But it's sold out already. Not a big surprise. There's other stretch goals as well. And then let's talk about this. The Worldhouse playing cards from the Edgy Brothers not doing so hot. It's just about at the halfway mark of the goal with 20 days to go. They've already pretty much surrendered and said that, it's not going to fund. And they are planning a relaunch, probably with 1,000 deck print run for the USB-C, with some gilded decks, and that's that. So it'll be $13,000 goal instead of $18,000. A little more likely to achieve that goal because it does not look like they're going to hit $18,000. I forgot to mention with the Gentleman deck from playingcards.net that they will have some gilded decks available, or do have. And the red deck features red gilding, which is pretty nice. I don't have one of those, but I don't think I'm interested in spending extra amounts of money on gilded decks anymore. Moving along, Arbors playing cards with an arbor theme, a plant theme from Lord's Playing Cards. This is a relaunch. They've done this before. Apparently, it's going to have silver foil snapping. Free shipping worldwide, which is a financial no-no in my opinion, because international shipping can cost quite a bit, and it's not that good of an idea. The back design is okay, and the court cards, they're okay. They're not horrible or anything like that. It's pretty interesting art to be printed by MPC. And if they hit 6,500 euros, which is not likely, they would print with Wang Xing printing in China, which is where Tomlinson Playing Cards prints their decks. It's pretty good quality. And there's showing us images of that, and for some reason they decided to use an image of the Amsif deck from Tier 11, which is a no-no in my opinion. The back design's okay. We're not seeing a whole lot of the faces. There's the Ace of Spades, Ace of Diamonds. Not a big fan of that, having all the faces being the same color with no distinguishability between them. Jokers are okay. Court cards are not bad, but they don't seem to have much to do with the theme. They look like they're from some old deck that they pulled. At least they have red pips for hearts and diamonds. But I don't think they're original court cards. I think they just borrowed from some old decks. I say this because their previous deck, one of their previous decks, I forget the name, used the court cards from the White Knuckles Playing Cards, and that's a no-no. And now it looks like they're doing the same thing with this deck. And yeah, I like the back design, but I'm not a big fan of everything else. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Moving along, Jones Playing Cards from Brett Jones, which is basically new versions of the White Knuckles Playing Cards. Not going to happen. Massive goal of $30,000. Less than 20 hours to go, 19 hours to be exact. By the way, I should mention the Arboris deck is 32% funded, 29 days to go. Untied States, 29% funded, 22 days to go. The Bicycle Gentleman is funded with 16 days to go. This one is not going to happen. They are going to print the decks, and inadvertently, thanks to me, they're actually going to print them with Legends Playing Cards now instead of the USPC, which is fine. And they're going to print not only this colored deck and a ghost deck that you see, but also a blue colored deck as well, as opposed to just this red one. So 3 decks coming sometime next year, early next year, and they'll be available at different card shops and magic shops. And I'm going to give them some suggestions on who to talk to about selling the decks. You see some of the artwork here. Moving along, another new deck, sort of, another relaunch. Mighty Heroic Minis from 2 Geeks Gaming. It's, superhero themed. Let's look at this. It's not a mini deck, by the way. It's just a name. Once again, we're using, despite the fact that they had legal issues, they're still using images that obviously look like Superman and Joker and Batman and Robin and Penguin and Flash and other characters. And there's Batgirl and there's Supergirl, I'm guessing, and a whole bunch of others I'm not familiar with. And then you go to the number cards. As you can see, they're pretty weird. They're just superheroes. There's some that are familiar, obviously, some that are not. They did have an issue before. Obviously, the artwork is a bit of an issue, legal-wise, but yet they're still doing it. The biggest issue they had was, apparently, I think it was Marvel was not it supported them using the name superheroes. Apparently, they own the copyright to that. Even when they changed it to superb heroes, briefly, they still did not. Were not allowed to go ahead with it. So now they changed the name, but they're still using the same artwork for some reason. The back design just features a bunch of pips. I'm not a fan of that. It's not a very good back design and doesn't really have anything to do with the theme. It just looks like it's put together for the hell of it. So, yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of good this week for launches and relaunches. And I don't think that this project should even be allowed to run because it's already had issues. But let's move along to non-Kickstarter decks. And actually, there's one upcoming I'm going to tell you about right away. Alright, let's look at some non-Kickstarter related stuff. Try to be quick with it. Well, some is Kickstarter related. First of all, I don't know what happened to this. Digital playing cards. I need to check that out. From Jason Wen. They had launched to be printed by USB-C. Then it was canceled. Then it was relaunched to be printed through MPC. And then for some reason it's been canceled again. Apparently. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Moving along. This one. Bicycle, Middle Kingdom. I'll show you the project. Ooh, check this out. So this is the Middle Kingdom bicycle deck from Doug Fry, aka Creative Vienna. I guess it's his company name. Chinese line art theme. There's a white deck, as you can see. Just a lot of black and white, not a lot of color. Very nicely done on the court cards. With a lot of effort. And you see the aces, very nice. The back is not bad, it just looks very sketchy. Like I wish there was a little more refined, a little color maybe, but it's not a big deal. And it is a one-way back, but yeah, it is what it is. There's also a black deck that looks like it's going to have gold metallic inks on it. And here you see what that looks like. And this is a stretch goal that they may or may not hit, we'll see. But it looks very good. Nicely done, a lot of effort put into it. A lot better than the last deck he attempted on Kickstarter. Grown-up coloring book. Oh, fun. Coloring book for adults. Let's talk about this one now. Grade Monarchs was released by Fury 11 a couple days ago, Friday. Available to everyone. Those who were in Elite should have had their decks shipped by now. Then there's this, coming soon from Natalia Silva on Kickstarter. It's the Christmas deck, which has a transformation type look to it. It's very similar to the Russian folk art in color and artwork. And it's going to be printed by MPC because they want to get it into backers' hands by Christmas time. I think it's fine. Some people are not a big fan of it. But I do like these transformation type decks and whatnot. Although some of them look similar. But it's very similar to the Russian folk art deck. And the colors and everything. It should launch within the next few days, by the way. Moving along, bicycle sweater backs. Actually, they're just sweater backs now. Here we go. They're just sweater backs. I'm guessing it's going to be the red and blue ones at the start. It's the third attempt. It's coming a week from today, November the 1st, Sunday, November the 1st. No longer USB-C, I don't believe. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. And there's just so much else going on that I probably won't be backing this one. And again, I'm with other people. What the heck is the front of the box supposed to be? Whatever. Moving along. Coming soon for pre-order on Uncarded is the Chancellor deck, which looks very nice. It may be this blue color, it might not. Looks like he's also going to have a red version of his standard deck soon, and something else. We'll see. Also coming soon to Illusionist, Killer Bees, which has a honeycomb back design with bees on it. Looks like these are coming sometime in November. Yeah, extremely underwhelming. It looks like it's been ripped off a design that Robert Tomlinson did for a company in China that he's been working with to replace their bee ripoff that USPC quickly sent their legal team after. And also, oddly familiar to another deck that's coming soon, apparently from Penguin Magic, which would be their first deck, called the Honeybees playing cards. So, way to go, Illusionist. You're copying other people and ripping them off. Let's move on, though, to this Silver Arrow deck. Coming soon from Kingswild, despite the fact that he has 3 projects at least that are unfulfilled. And he's also planning to do the Bicycle Crazy 8 deck sometime in October, which hasn't happened yet for some reason. And now he's also got this one apparently coming soon. This is will be a relaunch of his previous Silver Arrow deck, but hopefully there'll be more success this time than the last time. And some people might mock me or not like my comments, but there's no reason for him to have so many projects on the go at the same time. And I know there's a lot of fanboys out there. They complain about the Illusionist fanboys and Dan and Dave fanboys, but they're just as bad and jump on any deck that Jackson puts out, and no matter how much it costs. And you know, it's getting ridiculous and out of hand. But they would also jump out on any other creator who's released more than one deck at the same time. And they will often jump on collectible point cards for releasing so many decks, but yet they don't do the same for Gambler's Warehouse or Jackson Robinson or others. A bit hypocritical, in my opinion. Let's move along. Grinders from Midnight Cards was canceled, and it looked like it might have funded, but they decided not to go with it. They canceled, and they do plan to relaunch it. With an extremely limited version of 500 decks with a white tuck stock and black foil and gold holographic foil. And all sorts of other stuff. So we'll see. I guess he figured it wasn't limited enough. People weren't buying them, jumping all over them, so he decided to try to be more successful. And that is that. Wait, I want to see where this one's at. Nocturne. That's not going to happen. Bear with me a second. I want to see what's going on with digital cards. Okay, both his digital card projects were canceled. He launched one on October 18th for USB-C or LPC printing, actually Legend's playing card company. Canceled, and a few days later, 5 days later, relaunched. Or I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So let's see. His first project was launched October 17th, and it was canceled the very next day. That was to be printed with Legends with a $6,500 goal. The very next day, after he canceled, he relaunched the project. And to be printed through MPC with only a $5,000 goal, which is, well, not that much of a difference. And it was supposed to be a 3-week campaign, but he ended up canceling 2 days after that. It's pretty ridiculous. He says that he's canceling due to the fact that there's no progression and he has plans for other projects. Let's see what else he says. He's launching all these projects hoping that one will succeed. But again, this is the problem. He's done 8 projects. He's had 3 that were for the contour cards, 2 for his digital cards. He's tried the Ambit, and I think he's tried that twice because he had a different account as well. A Birthstone deck, Point playing cards, nothing overly exciting. The Gemstone one was just not good at all. Some potential in some of them, but you know it's getting ridiculous. When you look at this, he's had 8 projects. 1 of them was unsuccessful. The rest were all canceled. Some within days of launching. Some have been relaunched. And it's ridiculous. I mean, how can you expect people to want to back your projects if you just keep canceling them and not getting anywhere and launching different ones and not, sticking with one design or concept? And I don't know. But anyways, that is what I got for this week. I apologize for getting a little bit off track there. I will see you next week. Maybe there'll be more to talk about. I apologize for being so long. See ya.